Hi again guys, this is session 2 of your English unit of work on the piano by Aidan Gibbons. To start with today we're going to do a recap. I would like you to think about whether you can summarise the main events in the story The Piano that we watched yesterday. So pause this video and have a go at doing that now. You might write out in a list of bullet points, write a couple of sentences or discuss that question with an adult. So hopefully you've had the chance to do that now. To see how you got on and whether you've remembered those correctly, I'd like you to re-watch the video using the link on your class page for this week's remote learning to see if you remembered each event, and that will also help you as we move on today with our next activity. So go back to your class page, click through that link and have a watch now and then come back. So now I'm going to introduce today's task. Over the next few lessons, you are going to be planning and writing the story of The Piano. As you know, we don't have any words to this story, but yesterday we have looked at inference skills and trying to understand the character's thoughts and feelings and what's actually happening in the story. So, in today's lesson, we are going to be doing the plan for this piece of writing. So what our role today is to plan paragraphs to show shifts in time. So you will remember that in fiction writing, we change paragraph for a new time, new event or new place. And on this timeline, I've mapped out the main events from the story which we discussed yesterday. So you can see here I've got first event, we meet the character, the man on the piano. Second event is the first memory, the flashback to the wife. Then we've got the second memory, the flashback to the war. We return to the present and the man is playing the piano again. And then we have the third memory, the flashback to the man being on the hobby horse as a child. And then we return to the present and his grandson is now on the horse, the hobby horse. And then the final event is in the present and it's when the grandson joins the man on the piano. I'm going to model today how to add further details to each main event on this planning frame to then use to help you write in detail each paragraph of the story. Okay, so I've done a few which I'm going to reveal now and talk you through so you can see. So we meet the character, the man on the piano. Now, as yesterday we discussed, there's no words, so it's your interpretation of this story and what you think is happening and what you think he is feeling at that point in time. So I've got some ideas here for how we might add detail to this paragraph. So in my story, I'm going to have the man as feeling lonely. He's on his own at the start. It's as if he's playing his piano to pass the time of day. And I'm going to talk about how the piano gives him comfort. I've used me, and I've planned this in first person because I'm going to write in first person, reminds me of treasured memories of love and loss. So this is making a reference in my introduction to the fact I'm going to talk about people I loved and people I've lost in this story. So that is how I'm going to write a paragraph around the man on the piano at the start to introduce. You might have a different idea, and that's totally fine. What do you think he's feeling at that point in time? Jot down some notes. Remember, you don't have to write in full sentences. This is just a plan. And later in the other sessions this week, we'll be looking at turning this into a story. So my next main event is the first memory, the flashback to the wife. So here I've added some detail in note form to what I might discuss in this, or write about rather, in this part of the story. So I've got joyful notes remind me of special times playing the piano together. So I'm thinking about using the notes in the music as they change to more happier notes. It's that triggers the memory. Then I might talk about how the music brought us endless happiness, him and his wife. And sorry, I just moved that there. That we could play in sync without needing to communicate. So that's given the understanding that it was something they did so often together that they were just in tune with each other. Okay, and then I've got my second memory, which is the flashback to the war. So some ideas for what I might write in this paragraph. I'm now going to use the faster tempo or speed of the music. My mind moves to the time when I was in war. So it's as if the music is controlling the memories, and when the music changes and becomes faster, that triggers the new memory in my mind. So I'm putting my links here in purple, so you can see how I'm thinking about how to shift the paragraph or signal that it is a flashback. And then the details of what I'm going to write in this paragraph. I've put friend shot as I watched helplessly, so that's how I feel helpless about this situation. I tried everything to help, but he died in my arms. So as you can see, I've only got a couple of notes and I can expand on that later in the week as I come to write it. And then for the next paragraph, return to the present, the man playing the piano. I've not planned out the whole paragraph because I want to leave some things for you to do today when you do your plan, but I've just shown you an example, again in purple, of how I might link this paragraph using that idea of the music changing again. So I've got the musical notes become softer and it brings me back to my thoughts today. So I'm using the volume, the pitch, the tempo of the music and it changing to signal the shifts in my paragraphs. So then I'd have to go on to plan the third memory and some more detail about what I'm going to include in that part of the story. Return to the present, the grandson on the hobby horse, and then the grandson playing with me on the piano, because it's I am the main character in this story. I'm going to write in first person. So just a little reminder, pop this video down here, that anything you can see in purple is using the idea of the music changing to make links between the paragraphs, and it signals the flashbacks too. So you could actually pause this video as you're doing your plan today, and you will be able to use some of my ideas and take them and make them your own. And I hope this will help. So you will now lead English Session 2 activity sheet, which is a copy of this timeline, and it's got all the main events on for you. So you will need to add the finer details as to what will happen in each main event using note form, and then you can think about how you will link your paragraphs. I strongly advise using the idea of the music changing to help you. So try your best, guys. Thanks.